Okay, we'll call the August 9th meeting to order at 7 o'clock. First on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Jackie thought that you were standing up for her. Chairs back there. Okay, next the approval of minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second. Motion made by Mrs. Riddell, seconded by Albert to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Ms. McConick?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 3-0. Next, the approval of claims. I'll make a motion that we approve the claims since our last regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mrs. Riddell to approve the claims. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Ms. McConick?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 3-0. Hi, Jim. Sorry. Oh, that's all right.
No, that was my chin.
Sewage. Department head. No, go ahead. I was looking at you. I thought you were over here.
I was like, okay. So far, got the light up for the flagpole. The RES pump, or return sled pump that's in the basement, is supposed to be delivered sometime this week, and they're planning on getting that back in. That's the contractor's responsibility. And I met several times with the IT guy in the last 2 weeks and several phone calls, and he hasn't got a confirmation on what the issue with the blower controls were and when that's going to be resolved. That is Automatic Systems, which is a subcontractor of Diamond. And obviously we can't get grass to grow. We got a nice crop of weeds, but that's about
The
it.
drought never affects weeds.
Yeah, Diamond did send the fence contractor back who repaired the damage from the yard people, and that's been repaired. Wasn't me. So that's all I've got.
Okay. Let's see, I'll do the, yeah, I've got the disbursements. Last month we had the question came up in regards to the retainage for the grass. So I have a new disbursement summary, which was for Thieneman. Originally it was $60,222, and right now it's the revised one for $55,222, which holds back $5,000 for the landscape people, grass people. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the revised disbursement summary 26, which reflects the $5,000 retainage for the lawn.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mrs. Riddell to approve the revised disbursement summary number 26. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mr. McConick?
Yes.
Mr. Pachinski?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0.
I did have a question for you since we did that. Are we retaining any money back on Huber or gas soda on the screening equipment?
There, I would think there should be on it without looking, where to look.
Dan, my understanding was that we had retainage for Huber. That was the normal
Yeah.
10% of whatever the cost of that grid system was.
What I was able to do, I haven't got it finished up yet, but I got a whole month of data every day that we worked sampling the grit system, the pump effluent, which is the where the grit system flows to, and then I've been grabbing some samples of the raw before all that, and I've got some really good data. And the sad thing is, their latest change that they made, it was pretty much consistent through the whole month. The grit got a little thicker around the day. We got the 1.8 inches of rain, but other than that 2-day period, it's straight, almost a straight bar graph.
Okay.
You know, so it's
So no improvement one way or
no.
another.
We're looking at 92 to 95% organics that are coming up in the dumpster for the what is supposed to be grit. I have been able to track down some other information. 10 state standards is kind of the go-to guide for engineering and 10 states does not really address grit, percent volatiles, percent grit, any of that, but there are a couple other agency sources out there that have information on that, and the expected range of volatiles in your grit is between 5 and 56%. So with us being up in the 90s explains one, odor, two, the liquid consistency and not being able to get it upstairs.
Okay.
So I'm waiting on an engineer to get back from vacation. He's gonna forward me the information on those two studies, which I think will help shed some light on, you know, what we should be expecting a system to do.
Okay, so we could be getting some better numbers, I mean, from our sludge standpoint. Yeah, Lori has compiled our different costs in previous years and this year. I don't know if does everybody have one? They do?
There we go.
Yeah. It's the two-page.
The budget projections and prior expenditures. The
Got
second
an
page
X.
kind of tells you some.
Yes.
And it's got everything highlighted, so, I know Tom's gone, but when he gets back, we're gonna get together and go over stuff to see what we got and where we're going, because, I mean, chemicals is up higher, but I don't know if we've had to buy, are we using a lot more chemicals, or did we just have to change over by what we're doing and get different chemicals?
When we went to the treatment process, I'll give you a little bit of history which will help explain. McMahon did the preliminary engineering on the plant, applied for a construction permit,
Right.
knowing that everybody that renews the last couple of years and the next 8 to 10 years is first forced into a monitoring period for phosphorus. And then after the monitoring period, then they're given some time to do construction and actually treat for phosphorus. Our permit come in at the perfect time where they said, well, we're gonna avoid step A and just, you guys are gonna do phosphorus removal. So the plant was expanded, chemical storage was built, and we are doing the phosphorus removal. Our permit limitation is 1.0, any day, 1.0 milligram per liter. Any day in a month-long period you exceed 1.0, it's a violation. Okay, so first I started feeding alum at a rate of about 27 gallons a day. Phosphorus dropped down pretty good, then I started slowly cutting our dosage down and started watching the results come up. And I'm averaging about 0.40 for the month. So I'm worried if I try and dial too much more alum out, then I don't want to get anywhere close to that 1.0 violation. That's something you can't do a makeup test for or anything.
Right.
So bear in mind, semi-load, the last load I think we got was 2,900. That will last us about 45 days. So that's a cost we never had before we started this new plant.
Because of phosphorus.
The only other chemical cost I have is with polymer, with the sludge bags. And I'm averaging a barrel of polymer, which is $1,000 for every 10 bags. So,
But hopefully with this grit chamber and a lot of this, we'll be able to cut some of
Yeah.
that down too, along with our, contract for sludge hauling too. Okay.
but if you'd like some information to look over till we can have a budget meeting, I compiled 3 years worth of data
Okay.
and also some data on the old plant electrical usage, the new plant electrical usage. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have at a later time, because I'm sure you don't want to review it now.
So I think a lot of our budget process for anything for the plant, we're gonna have to see once we get these numbers leveled out a little bit, or see what the constant is on them.
I'm sorry, I don't have a secretary, so you got it in handwritten form instead of a spreadsheet. But I think that'll help explain why we have so much more sludge being produced in the plant, and also electrical increases. You'll look at a lot of the equipment utilize the old air system, and this new style plant does not.
I mean, I get that a more efficient plant is gonna have more sludge, I mean.
Yes. Now, I pointed that out in the first page. You can see it's almost a 40% increase in solids alone, just from being in violation every month to meeting the monthly permit. And I did want to point out that since November of 2015, I have not had a violation.
Good.
I've met the permit in every parameter that's given us.
So, what we've got is an operation that makes us environmentally friendly
Yes,
compared to where we used to be.
yeah,
And everything has a cost.
yeah, definitely. It's like if you look at the strength of the sewage going out, we were averaging in 2014, I believe it was 19 milligrams per liter. I think we were in the we're somewhere down around 3 last year, so that's a substantial drop. You know, it's just better for the environment. And the sad thing is, there's no way to dial the plant back and say, okay, well, why don't we shoot for 10 and then I create less sludge? You either got it working right or you don't.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have anything else? Thank you for this. Do we have anything else on sewage? Did you write specs for?
Yeah, and I've been in
Oh,
communication
okay.
with
Alright.
Tom and Dan about those, so we've got them to the point where they're
You're
gonna be
making
finalized.
progress. I got that.
This week.
Okay,
Overall,
for
it's been pretty good.
publication?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, H2O.
Other than water tower controls that went out on me 2 weeks ago, and I repaired it myself, everything's good. We're starting to get a little rust. I'm looking at probably trying to schedule hydrant flushing first or second week of September.
Okay. So, how's the air been, or the?
It's getting worse.
It's worse.
So, we gotta look at the VFDs. I've talked to Charlie several times. He hasn't got out to take a look at it. Tom has come out. I can see a substantial electrical savings. He's talking that NIPSCO has some grant money possibly available for the VFDs that he's checking into to help offset the cost of putting them in. But it's definitely a reoccurring problem.
Okay, so. Okay. Anything else underwater?
No.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Streets.
You got it.
You don't have a report on
Yeah,
anything?
you got it.
Okay. We have,
Sorry, I'm late.
we were waiting on you, but we decided not to. We
Okay.
We have sidewalk replacement. We have 3 quotes. One is from VCC for $26,859.76. The other one from L&S for $26,700, and American Concrete Raising for $27,900. The lowest quote being L&S for $26,700. There is, what is there, 4 jobs on here, folks?
4 jobs, yeah.
Yeah. 4 jobs,
Yep.
different spots throughout the town, looks like.
The ones the kids walk to school most and are damaged, that's what we went by,
Okay.
me and Jim went around.
Okay, yeah, that's what we've been trying to do
Right.
since we started this, is school walking paths.
We had one area we gotta go around the tree, and we got permission from the homeowner to do that, we got paper signed by that. So.
Do you wanna make a,
I'll make a motion that we accept L&S at $26,700 for the sidewalk repair.
okay,
And that also includes 8 ADA tiles.
oh, okay.
Yeah, they were
Put
interesting,
place.
yeah.
And I'll second that, and we have, what account, Lori?
For sidewalks?
Yeah. There's several of them,
No,
CCD?
yeah.
Okay, out of CCD,
Mhm.
okay. Motion made by Mr. Pachinski, seconded by Albert, to contract with LNS for sidewalk replacements for $26,700. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Ms. McConnell?
Yes.
Mr. B?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0.
On the street paving one, Mike, we had all the contractors go around and look at, give us the price for 1.5 and 2 inch,
Mhm.
the difference. And the streets that we picked out to have done, we wanna do all of them at 1.5 except Valparaiso Street and do that one at 2 inches.
Okay.
So that's what we got this all done, including with the manholes after they're done.
Oh, the concrete around them?
Right.
Yeah,
Which this year will go up just past the school drive.
okay.
And
But
next
we
year
got a
we'll
bunch
try
of
to
side
continue.
streets we gotta,
Yeah.
pretty bad we gotta do, so Enbridge Street,
Okay.
8th Street.
Okay, we have quotes from Reeve Riley for $72,985, Walsh and Kelly for $98,848, and Row Construction for $72,908.39. So Row is the lowest by about $77 or something like that. So, I'll make a motion that we,
Have they done paving work for us before, Rhoda?
yeah. I'll make a motion that we contract with Road Construction Group.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Bashinsky to contract with Rowe for the paving during discussion. Mrs. Riddell? Mr. McConick?
Yes.
Mr. Bashinsky?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0. I'll sign this stuff afterwards.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we know any more on the street lights?
Yeah,
They're still- Oh, I was just kind of throwing it out there to anybody that listen.
I need to get together with Bubba and with Darren in regards to putting up a plan for Water Tower Place in terms of where we would propose to put those streetlights at and give it to NIPSCO. We did hear back further from NIPSCO on the LED, the possibility of converting things to LED lights, and it seems like that's something that may be able to be done in the future.
Wow,
Yeah.
that dropped.
Westville's on schedule for 2020. Except if we put new ones up here, they may, depending on where it's at, they could be LED right away.
Wow, that would drop our.
2020.
That would,
Yeah.
Which
They
means,
all-
which
Just
means
telling you,
20,
not right now.
which means 2040, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
NIPSCO time.
You need something new by then.
LEDs would be obsolete when they put them in.
put one out by my tombstone.
Parks.
Parks. I think we should increase the rent for the new shelter. I think that it's very nice. I think it'd be nice to get a little bit of something flowing in, so the parks could do more. I'm not sure how much is it exactly right now with a, how much,
125.
and they get how much?
75 back.
75 back.
Well, when we, remember you were in my office and we
Mhm.
did comparisons on the other park
Yes,
shelters?
yes.
150 seems to be a general amount, average amount for rentals, and 50 was refundable, so, I mean,
Yeah, it's
Because
I think it's about time,
20th
really.
century time.
it's not really,
Make them want.
basically
No, I
what it's doing, it's reserving it for that particular time, because anybody could go out and use it, but.
Right. But for me to go out there and get it ready for somebody to rent it, we're not really making, we're not making anything.
Yeah, by the time,
Okay.
how many rentals do we average?
We've been averaging about every other weekend or every weekend just about.
Really?
We've had a break here for the last couple of weeks, but after that, we got another one coming from the Sonic Lodge.
Right now, it's probably so hot, nobody wants to be outside. Okay, that'd be ordinance.
Yeah, let's look at how that's set
Okay.
right now. I don't know off the top of my head how that was established, but we can get that together.
Okay.
And the amount you're recommending, 150?
Mhm.
with 50 back.
What's 50 back?
Okay.
And do we want to put that into effect yet this year, or is that something that we will have?
We've already got it
effect
rented out, so at
next year?
the old price, so I don't know how we could do that.
We probably should do it starting in January.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Anything else under parks?
No, I'm just looking into seeing if we can get, Regina sent me a really good idea for a handicap swing, like an actual swing set that someone in a wheelchair can go in. So, I'm gonna be looking into just seeing how much that would cost, cause I know we have a little bit of money left, and I figure, I think the most, productive way to use it is that. I think I would really like to see that in the park, so.
That's cool. Does it go on existing, or is it a new frame and everything?
It looked like it was on an existing, but I'm gonna do more research just to find out really what that is, how much it would entail, cost, things like that.
Do you know anything about that, Bubba?
No, she sent me a picture, but no, I haven't
That's
seen it.
pretty nice,
It
isn't
is nice, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one before.
It is, it's really.
Yeah, they're pretty common these days.
They are, and I just,
Yeah,
This Valparaiso, I bet they have one over there,
I don't know off the top of my head, but I would assume that they do, but
they
I'm not
just
sure.
redid that.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah, I
couple
bet it
years.
is, I
Yeah.
think I know.
they have a splash pad in Coutts, and I know that right now the splash pad in downtown Valpo is the hottest thing right now, and I think that is such a brilliant idea, because I get I'm gonna meet with the Birchfield Memorial on that, because I had messaged, some people before I had left on my trip in regards to that, just a little bit more research on what we can do. but I think that would be so fun. I think it would get so many kids out in the community, and
Yeah.
I mean,
You
and you're
would.
kind of responsible
I know
for
my
your own
grandkids
kid
love
too, is what I'm hearing. Cause I'm like, if Coutts
You'll
gonna
know.
have one, Westville's gonna have one.
Where's there at, out on 8? Coutz's, is that what it is?
Uh-huh.
Couts, yeah,
Yeah,
east, west of town.
In the intent with Lisa, Mitch, and Monica, with,
they are.
yeah, but it's nothing different, I'll get.
Yeah, it's, I mean, yeah.
Anything else on parks?
No,
Mike,
that's
Mike, I
it.
got one thing.
Yep,
Just to let
time's
you know
up.
that the Birchfield group bought rubber blue mulch for the new basketball court. I finally got the weeds all killed out there, and we've got all delivered. We just gotta get it down now, so as soon as we get time, but it's blue
Inside the
rubber
group.
mulch that goes around the basketball court.
Nice.
Good, excellent.
That would look nice.
Anything else? Police, you got 2 minutes.
278 total calls for service, 68 traffic stops, 61 ordinance violations, and 6 crashes. The ordinance violations are up so much because I backed off of the cutting of the grass with the
Thank
hot
you,
weather we had.
thank you very much.
We had so many, every day seemed like it was a don't mow your grass day on the news, so I couldn't see sending out letters to everybody telling them to mow the grass when the news is telling them not to. Once we got the rain, then I gave some warnings out, so that's why that's so high. I was approached by the church, the Methodist church, about, they're having a bike rodeo for kids on August 20th. They asked me if I would help them, so I'm gonna help them with some bike safety stuff. They asked if they could use some orange cones. Bubba said it wasn't a problem. And they also would like to shut down Clybourne between Main and Walnut, so they don't have kids going back and forth between the church and the American Legion parking lot with cars traveling there, because that's where they're gonna host it. It's a 3-hour time span. There's very little traffic. I don't see a problem with it if you guys don't. And then afterwards, they're gonna do a little parade over around a couple blocks with us and the fire department. So there'll be a squad car out there and a fire truck and the kids riding bikes, so they'll have a good time.
Okay.
Bob, are you gonna go out there with something like close down the
Yeah,
streets?
yeah.
That need to be a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we close Clybourne on August 20th for the 3-hour period between Main Street and Walnut Street. Second. Motion made by Albert, second by Mr. Bashinsky to close Clybourne for a 3-hour period on August 20th between Main Street and Walnut Street. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yeah.
Ms. McConic?
Yes.
Mr. Bashinsky? Yes. Passes 4-0.
And the last thing I had on there was the building, the new police station. We worked and got the financial records out to a few different banks, and they're waiting on bid packets. And I discussed with Regina that we're kind of behind a little bit on getting the bid packets together, and she had mentioned maybe having a deadline. I don't know if that's something that you guys
Tomorrow?
would.
Yeah, I think we need to, this has been long enough, and we need to get this going. I mean, we need the bid packets out so that we can put them out and see who's going to respond to us. I think Mike has somebody that's gonna be responding, we know a couple of others that's probably gonna be responding. We need to get this process going. So are you the one that needs to build a fire?
I can certainly assist with that, Virginia,
I would
sure,
like- I
yeah.
would
I
like-
mean, this is just, I mean, at this point in time, it's still really preliminary type information we're seeking.
Sure, it's
So
not-
this should be able to turn that around
This is not
relatively
anything
easily.
that's that high
Right.
tech at this point.
And then we're
Right.
already working on it, right? Could we get it done by a week from Friday?
Last I talked to Tom, he had a meeting with Charlie Ray, and Charlie said he was gonna make it a priority, but that's been a week and a half.
Can they have it by, what is a week from Friday, the 19th?
I can ask him.
Yeah.
See, by
Ask
the
him if he
19th.
can have it by the 19th,
Yeah.
that we need it.
Okay. Anything else in
I'm done,
Popo?
done.
It's all right.
Can I make a point, I was much quicker than Bubba.
First time.
Looks like your street's gonna be blocked off for a while, yeah? Finance, we have the internal control ordinance. This is something that the legislature has put upon municipalities throughout the state for internal controls. It involves, there's a video we all have to watch,
I printed my paper already.
part of it. It's, I guess it's basically internal controls that how we set up things and do things.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, it started with the federal government. They have what's considered their green book, which is the federal internal control standards. That's kind of made its way down to the state. The state last year passed legislation requiring all units of government within the state to adopt these internal control standards and provide training to employees. So this is to come into compliance with that new standard.
And the state and the federal isn't this thin either, is it? They're-
No.
Okay, this is 2 copies. Okay, we have ordinance 2016-11, an ordinance of the Town Council of the Town of Westville, Indiana, LaPorte County, adopting uniform internal control standards for Indiana political subdivisions in accordance with Indiana Code 511-127. Can I read it by title only?
Certainly.
Okay.
Please do.
I will make a motion accept or approve ordinance 2016-11 on the first reading.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Pshinski to approve ordinance 2016-11 on the first reading. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Ms. McConic? Mr. Pshinski?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 4-0. Do they want this done tonight, or do we want to put it for next month?
Laura, if you're okay with it, I'd just like to have you get it done this evening.
Okay.
Way okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2016-11.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Pshinski to suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2016-11. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Ms. McConic?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Mr. Pshinski?
Yes.
Passes 4-0. We got stuff to sign here when we're done.
How soon do we
What?
get the tape?
I can send you the link, so you all can watch it.
You better watch it.
It's 27 minutes
27
long.
minutes
I've
long.
already,
Riveting.
I've already watched it and I was just enamored.
In fact, riveting is probably how you have to, they keep you in your seat,
It is,
right?
you know, put the seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Do you
And I would
feel
just
much
give you
more
that piece of
knowledgeable
paper.
about internal
Yeah.
control
I
standards?
do. And my life is So I just have to change the date on mine.
That's,
Let's do
Thank
it in the
you.
morning.
Yeah.
Afternoon, I'll be out.
Because I will not be watching.
We have, and I believe it's part of the internal controls, is job descriptions.
yes.
And we've got, we're looking at, I haven't really started yet. Regina, I know, has done some work on it, I believe, for the employee handbook. So we can incorporate that, if that's okay, we'll just
And you
incorporate
have
that
too,
with
Jim's put his,
2 cents in.
he,
Yes.
like, more than 2 cents, he's put his recommendations. We've got it ready to approve it. I mean, we've got something,
Did you send me a copy of that
mm-hmm,
by Yahoo account?
That was a while.
Yeah,
It's been
because we
quite a
talked
while.
about it, and I'll look.
Now, Jim and I got ours in about the same time.
Okay.
Now, it's real close to it being amended and revised.
Did you work the subcommittee?
You worked
The
on it?
subcommittee for this
Yeah.
and the job description.
Yeah, but you submitted stuff, I think the department heads have submitted things in the job descriptions.
They're ready,
too.
you're ready to be
Okay,
whoever the.
so, yes, Regina and I are the subcommittee. Regina's the chairperson.
You see how that went? Did you catch on it?
Anything else under miscellaneous? Citizens' comments? I don't see you, Cheryl. Hi, how are you? Go ahead.
Hi. Every month I've been checking on the property over there at 356 West Jefferson, and there's, part of it has no flooring in it. If a child walks in there, they would fall right down into the basement. I just wonder if there's any progress. I don't see anything.
And that is 100% on me, Cheryl. I talked with Darren before it. The council gave me approval to send out the notice requiring the owner to take steps to basically make that property safe, and I need to do that. And I'm gonna meet with Darren yet this week, because we have to have a detailed list of all the things that they need to do in order to bring it into compliance, and it's been my fault. That should have gone out already.
Okay.
But he's had a baby in between.
Really?
He really has.
Myself.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna beat him up too much.
Kudos to you. Anything else? Any other citizen comments? Yes, citizen.
we're getting handed warnings for our property not being mowed in 105 heat index with the ozone problem. I don't think it's correct. If they don't know how to listen to the radio and find out we have an ozone alert,
I think he just said they haven't been giving them out
well,
because of the ozone.
that was because it was so hot. He didn't say anything about the ozone. I'm not gonna mow my yard when there's an ozone alert. I'm not gonna be out in 105-degree weather pushing a lawnmower.
I think
If
that's
the
what he
street
just said.
department's looking for work, tell them to get on their little tractors and mow the city streets.
I think he just said that he hadn't sent notices out, and there were so many of them because of the heat index.
I
and
got
everything.
one a week ago.
I gave the warnings out, door hangers out after we had the weekend of rain where things cooled off some and then the grass actually started to grow. Put out door hangers.
I had mine
And the
2 days
ozone
before
alert
the
is
rain.
over.
I had mine
Now
on
there's a new one
105
tomorrow.
days.
So
Yeah.
that's when I put the door hangers out and actually everybody, all but probably a handful of people, I haven't actually sent out any certified letters because obviously since then we're back in 100 and something degree heat, so quite a few people went out and mowed, only a handful didn't. So that's, I mean, I haven't done a grass violation in probably since May because it got so hot so fast. So,
Well, why did we get one 2 weeks ago?
because we had the rain and grass actually started to grow and the temperature dropped.
Everybody
Well,
else
that's your
can get
answer.
their lawn mowed,
Everybody's
so.
gonna mow after it rains.
Steve, you got your answer, what do you want?
I've
I
mowed
gave
my
you your
lawn.
I
answer.
want
what
an
you
apology for 105 degrees.
No, I'm not gonna
I'm not
apologize.
going outside in 105 degrees.
Well, I'm not gonna apologize to you. I gave you my answer. It rained 2 days, the grass grew. You got a warning. If you're upset about a warning, I
Have
don't
a
know what
good
to tell
day.
you.
Yeah.
You have a
I
good
knew it was
night.
gonna happen.
Go mow your lawn. How many people here have mowed their grass in the last couple of weeks? I know Dave has, because I've seen him out there.
Every week I'm
Yeah,
having
we're
one
mowing every week.
Yeah.
We mow every day. Huh?
Okay.
Go mow it.
How many of you vote? 11.
But you gotta mow it.
Well,
There's a warning.
I got one more question for you.
if it's against grass, about grass.
He doesn't have any,
Sludge
he's got
bids.
rocks.
That's right, he's going.
What's that, Dan?
Sludge bag bids, sludge hauler bids, were we gonna do that next month?
I got Tom's comments back, I need to put it in final form and then we're gonna publish that. I don't wanna get it to the newspaper yet this week.
Okay,
And we'll
so you wanna
probably-
open the meeting in September, correct? Cause
I-
then we'll be done with our current contract.
That's what the thought is. I mean, we don't have to have an actual council meeting just to open the bids. They just need to be open in public and made available at that point. So we'll have to figure out, maybe Tom, you and I can be here for the bid opening and then we'll schedule maybe a special meeting to award that then.
Okay, thanks, sorry.
And I did end up putting together, so everybody understands why there's been a little bit delay with that. I actually ended up putting together like a packet on that because that was not something that I felt comfortable that we could just do just in the legal notice itself. So the legal notice refers back to a packet which Lori will have here for individuals that are interested in bidding on it. And that has all the specs in it.
Okay. Thanks, Dan. Anything else? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
That'll be it.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Yashewski to adjourn at 7:34. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Oh, yeah.